Go when you're ready.
Alright, so I chose my topic on VLOOKUP versus index match, which is a pretty big debate out in the data science world. So I thought I'd try to explain it to you guys so you guys can have an opinion on this too. So we're going to start with VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is a function that returns a value that is intersected with the given row and column. So we're going to go through the parts of what goes into VLOOKUP. And we have first the lookup value, and that's asking what are you looking for. So if you're looking for a name or a certain value, that is where that would be put in your function. Next, we have to give our function the array of the table to look for. So that is, where am I going to find this value that you're asking for? Next is the column index number. This is an important part to remember because you have to, it's asking what do you want to return, and it's very specific in a way that you have to put a specific number for the column. So if you want column number 2, you have to put in column number 2, or if you want number 20, you have to put in 20, and it will look through that 20th column. Next is asking if you want it to be precise or approximate. Most of the time you would want it to be precise, but you have that option there. So now let's look into how the V function actually works. So in this little example here that I'm going to be able to compare VLOOKUP to index match, you can see the function down there. Our lookup value is B12, which as you can see in the blue highlighted box there, we're looking for Kevin. And then in our table array is that whole chart there with all those values. And then in this specific instance, we want to find Kevin's height. So in order to find Kevin's height, we have to go and find which column does height fall in our table array. And we can see that highlighted there is column number 2. So we're going to insert column number 2. And then we want exactly Kevin's name. We don't want something close to Kevin. We want Kevin. And so we're going to put in false. And so circle there is the return value. We're going to get 5.8, which works great. So now I'll show you what index match is, but first I need to show you what match is so you can understand how these different functions work within each other. So match is a function that returns the position of a certain value that you're looking for. So in this cheesy little example, we're looking for kiwis, and so our lookup value is kiwis, and then our lookup array is all those fruits in the blue box, and then your match type would be 0 because you want it to be exact to kiwis. And so it will return number 4, which is the position of kiwis. Next we look at the index part of the functions. And so here we have, we're looking through the table, and then we want to, so we give it the table, the blue array, and then we have to give it a row number. So we're just going to choose row number 1. So as you can see, I have highlighted there in row number 1. And then we're going to choose column number 2. And so then we're going to go across, and then we're going to meet with carets. And so index returns the value of the intersection of a row and a column. So now, putting index and match together, we can do the same exact thing as VLOOKUP, but in a slightly more convenient way. So here we have, in the index part of it, we're showing the array. So this whole big blue array there is the entire table that we want to look through. And then this single match function is going to go through and it's going to say, okay, our lookup value is that red highlighted name Kevin, and then we want to look for Kevin in the names category in the purple highlighted section. And so that's going to go through and it's going to find Kevin at spot number 4, and that match function is going to return 4 to our index for the row number. Then we're going to move on to our second match function, and that is going to show us that our lookup value is, we want his height. So we can just type in height over there and plug it into our match function here, and it's going to go up into the top pink array, and it's going to find height at spot number 2, and so it's going to plug in a 2 for our column number. And so then it'll go, and then the index is going to go in its big blue array that we already looked at, and it's going to find 4 and 2, and it's going to go and find 5.8 as its value and return 5.8, just like VLOOKUP did. So now the question is, which one is better, VLOOKUP or index match? Turns out that VLOOKUP is more popular. It's been around for ages, so of course it's more popular. And it's easier to use, which is understandable. It took me much longer to explain index match compared to VLOOKUP. But index match takes over when it comes to flexibility, because what happens if you have 70 columns? You have to go count all the columns down of what you want to put into VLOOKUP to find, oh, I want column number 43 to be the column that I'm going to look through. Whereas with this one, I can go and say, I want square foot, and then it's going to go and find that column for you. You don't have to do that work manually. And then the speed. The index match is a faster algorithm, works better in Excel's brain, so that's why some people would prefer index match. So now it's up to you guys what you guys prefer, VLOOKUP or index match.